Hello, welcome back to our study of Peninei Halacha, the teachings of Rabbi Eliezer Malamed Shlita. We are continuing our study in the laws and customs of the Jewish marriage, and we are now more into the actual procedure of the wedding. And the next chapter is Seder HaChasana HaKiddushin. HaChasana murkeves mishlosha shlavim. The wedding is divided or combined of three separate parts. Erisin shenasin alidei Kiddushin, what we call Erisin or Kiddushin, Ksuba, the Ketubah document, and Nisuin shenasim alidei hachuppah, and then the Nisuin part, which is done through chuppah. So we're going to go through each of those accordingly. Tiknu chachamim l'kayemes hakiddushin la'achar bracha al kos yayin. The rabbis established that we should make the Kiddushin happen after we make a bracha on a cup of wine. And Birchas HaKiddushin, Noadel Vateis Mashmos HaKiddushin, and the blessing on the Kiddushin, or it's called the Birchas Erisin, really comprises of the nature of the Kiddushin process. V'abracha layayin bevates hasimcha shebishtatvus rayon Kiddushos Erisin meholamos haruchaniyim ha'alyonim v'ad la'olam hagishmi. And the gefen, the blessing over wine, it symbolizes the simcha, which we're bringing together, this great spiritual occasion into the physical world. So we have two components in this blessing. There is the blessing that deals with the Kiddushin aspect, and then the Gefen, which deals with the Simcha aspect. Because wine represents, and this is the way that we can express the simple joy that we have, the natural joy that we have in our world. שהערכים הרוחניים של קדושה ונאמנות ילוו אותם כל ימי חייהם יחד עם הרגשות הטבעיים של האהבה והשמחה והששון שמבטאים ביין. Not only that, but we also have an inherent prayer for this new couple, that this shidduch, that this couple, that this union and the bond that they feel at this minute, not only the physical bond, but the spiritual bond, that's something that should escort them all of their entire relationship, all the days of their lives. Again, this is expressed through wine. And of course, we have, at many milestone occasions, we have wine. Harav Misadar Kiddushin Notelas Hakos Yain Biyadom Avarach Shtei Brachos. So then the Misadar Kiddushin, the officiant, as we call it, the rabbi, he holds the cup and he makes the two blessings. One is Borei Pri HaGefen, and the second one is Asher Kiddushanim Mitzvasav V'Tzivanu Al Arayos V'Asar Lenu Es Harusos V'Hiter Lenu Es Hanesuos Lenu Adei Chuppah V'Kiddushin Baruch Atah Hashem Mekadesh Shemo Yisrael Adei Chuppah V'Kiddushin. That's generally the accepted nusach. That's the text that we use. There are a couple of variations depending on different customs in Israel, but that's the general text that we use. La'achar siyum habracha tomim ma'yayin b'seder zeh. And after the rabbi makes the blessing, then the couple should taste the wine as follows. Harav Misadar Kiddushin Nosein Asakos L'Chasan, HaChasan Shosemat. The rabbi gives the cup to the groom, and the groom drinks a little bit. La'achar Mikain Lokech Harav Asakos Mechasan Mostro Le'em Hakala, V'hi Nosein Asasol L'Kala L'Te'ima. And after this, the rabbi takes the cup from the groom, and he gives it to the bride's mother, and then she gives it to the bride to drink. V'chasan Eina Moser B'atzmo Asakos L'Kala, V'shum Shadayin Heim Nitzam B'Shlav HaErisin. And here he has an interesting chumrah that the chasan should not give the cup over to the bride as of yet, because they're still in the erisin process. Not only that, but after the bride and groom drink from the cup, it's a good custom that the parents or whoever is close by should also drink the remaining wine of the cup. And if they did not have in mind to drink beforehand when the rabbi made the blessing, then they should make the blessing on their own of Borei Pri HaGefen. And this is the notion of drinking from a kos shel bracha. We also have different variations of this where the mother of the groom will give to the groom, and then the mother of the bride will give to the bride. But again, not the groom giving to the bride at this moment. That can perhaps take place later on. Also, you might see that sometimes the Misadar Kiddushin himself will drink from the wine. That's because he's the one making the bracha, and you want to make sure if you're making the bracha, at least you should drink some of the wine. B'yesod Birchas HaKiddushin Muvah Shtei Deos. In the foundation or the essence of this bracha of Kiddushin, we have two different opinions. Ladasa Rambam, Kishem shelifnei harbe mitzvahs tiknu chachamim levarich baracha, gam came lifnei mitzvahs hakiddushin tiknu bracha. According to the Rambam, if you believe that Kiddushin is a mitzvah, that getting married is a mitzvah, so much like any other mitzvah, we make a blessing beforehand before we perform the mitzvah. So to here, we make a special blessing before we perform this mitzvah. Uladas harash, and according to Rabbeinu Asher, bracha zu eina mechlal brachas ha-mitzvah, el mechlal brachas ha-shevach v'hodar l'Hashem. He believes that the mitzvah is not to get married. The mitzvah really is peru, and this is only a preparatory step. There's no real mitzvah in the Torah to get married per se. So this does not put this bracha in the category of a blessing over a mitzvah. Rather, it's what's called a brachas ha-shevach. It's a bracha of praise, of thanks that we give to God. Al shevdilanu min ha'amim v'kiddush hasan v'mitzvasav aydei shenasa lanu hadracha lokis ketzah lavo b'bris hanisuin. Because we're thanking God that God separated us from amongst the nations of the world, and He sanctified us with His mitzvos and with His ways that we know how to enter into the path of Jewish marriage in a holy and pure way. So after we have the blessings and the drinking of the wine, we get to the actual Kiddushin process. Harav, the rabbi, he has to make it known and make it clear that the ring does belong indeed to the groom, and that they have kosher witnesses that we've discussed a few sessions ago, and they're there to witness everything. He asks the bride, the rabbi asks the bride, are you prepared to be married and to extend your finger and to be married to this man? And then, of course, the groom recites the benediction, the Haraya Mekudeshet. My personal practice is if I don't think that the groom is so fluent in Hebrew, I'll make sure that they say it in English. It has to be said in a language that both parties understand, so everybody knows what's going on. And he says the declaration, and then he places the ring on her finger. From that moment on, once the ring is on her finger, and he has recited the benediction, then she is considered married. So they're in this in-between stage where she can no longer be with anyone else, but at the same time, she cannot be with her actual husband until they finish the Nisuin process. Luckily, we do these all together. We don't wait the 12 months as they used to do in the times of the Talmud, as we have discussed previously. There's also the custom that as soon as, and you might hear this if you listen closely, certainly if there are microphones at a wedding ceremony, that as soon as the ring is placed on her finger, the rabbi or the witnesses or all of them will say mikudeshes, that indeed she is married. Kadesha hachasan v'akala yirishayim lavor l'shlav adisuin al yidei chuppah. Hachasan tzarich lasis l'kala sakasuba. Hainu l'yischayv l'dog l'chol tzarich ben amanos. And in order to get to the stage of nisuin, the bride has to receive the ksuba from the husband, and he has to show his intent that he's going to keep all of the terms of the ksuba. And that if something happens to end this marriage, that she will get what she deserves in the ksuba. We have added this, again, as we mentioned last time, to separate between these two portions of the Erusin and the Nisuin. We have the reading of the ksuba, but always after the reading of the ksuba, we tell the groom, we tell the chassan to give the ksuba to the kala. Again, that just shows his willingness to enter into the Nisuin with a full heart and with full faith. So we will continue, God willing, next time, and we'll look at the actual Nisuin process. But we are making our way through the chuppah and having wonderful simcha here. And thank you again for joining us. I hope you all have a great day, and we'll see you here next time.